All right. Welcome, everybody, to episode 3 of the MasterClass. Glad everybody could join today. And today we have a couple of special guests that will be joining me. We have Cassandra Golston, as you see here on this slide, and Emil Vandeklok. And they're here to teach us how to use partner data to 10x your sales and marketing. But first, before I bring our special guests into the room here, I just want to give a proper intro to each of them. And first of all, Cassandra, she is CEO and co-founder of PartnerTap. And she founded PartnerTap in 2016. And she did it to help companies drive more revenue through and with their partners. And Cassandra is also a member of InPartner's Channel Chief Advisory Board. So we're glad to have her here. And she's also a popular conference speaker, actually spoke at InPartnerCon a couple of months ago. And she's a strong supporter of other female founders in the tech industry. So honored to have her here. And also Emil's bio, he says that he's an avid watcher of the Bachelor series from America's TV. Is that right, Emil? Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. Your real bio says that you are, Aaron Partners, Senior Director of Channel Marketing Solutions. He has over 25 years of experience in marketing and management. And he actually started in software development, so he's a fellow nerd like myself. And he grew to build his own channel solution. And since then, he's always worked in the channel. And he joined forces with us here at InPartner during our acquisition of TIE Kinetics a couple of years ago, where we integrated the channel marketing and demand generation solution from there and to have our TCMA offering. So has a great amount of expertise and very honored to have both of them here. So let me bring them on stage here as we get going. Welcome. And before I turn it over to you, just wanted to go through the agenda of what we're going to cover today. So first of all, Cassandra is going to tell us about partner sales technologies and what makes it possible for you to get detailed partner data. Then she'll take us through 5 specific ways where you can use partner data to prioritize partners, target accounts, source new opportunities, and accelerate deals. And then we'll turn it over to Emil, and he's going to show you how you can use partner data in your TCMA campaigns, including our Google Ads for the channel feature that we have on the InPartner technology stack. And when we're talking TCMA, I'm sure Emil will get into this, but that's through channel marketing automation is what that abbreviation stands for. And we're starting to kind of use also PMA for partner marketing automation, but that's what those terms stand for. So with that, Cassandra, I'll turn it over to you to take it away.
Thanks, Trevor. I appreciate it. So before jumping into all of the ways that channel and partner teams can use partner data, I just want to acknowledge how hard it's been for teams up until now. Every great partner team out there is really focused on building trusted relationships with their partners and really working together to drive revenue. Every team starts with partner account planning and really tries to identify the specific accounts they can go to market with each partner. But the reality is that without automation, it's not possible to really map more than 100 accounts with each partner. So this manual process of emailing around account lists and trying to identify the best targets, it's really time consuming. It's so frustrating because once you do the exercise, the data is out of date. Sales reps turnover, accounts churn, and you're right where you started. So without automation, teams just simply can't map partner data against all of the accounts in their CRM. And as a result, they completely miss out of thousands of potential opportunities that are buried beneath the surface. So PartnerTap is really a new type of solution, and it's called an ecosystem sales platform. And we've built this system that automates data sharing with partners. It automates account mapping, it automates pipeline sharing. It even can auto connect sales teams with their partner sales reps around shared accounts and opportunities. And it gives reps a co-selling platform to collaborate, because that's where deals actually close faster. It's at the field level. So I'm happy to talk offline about how the platform works, but right now I just want to jump into the specific ways that you can use partner data to really 10x your sales and marketing results. The important thing to know is that we complement your existing PRM system, and we have many joint customers within partner. So in the next few slides, I'll walk through the 5 ways that you can use all this detailed partner data that comes out of the system to really source new opportunities, close deals faster, increase those renewals, prioritize partners for MDF investments, and really create those hyper-targeted account lists for your channel marketing campaigns. So here we're looking at the hot prospects, and these are really your net new logo opportunities for your business. These are your configured target prospects that are overlapping your existing customers of your partners. And then right next to the hot prospects is Help My Partner. And this tile really shows you where your current customers are that overlap your prospects of your partner. So these 2 reports really make it easy to plan and do those QBR check-in calls with every partner and make them productive, because you can immediately zero in on the accounts that you can help each other sell into. So once you've identified the accounts that you really want to focus on with each partner, the next step is to auto connect the sales teams with the right partner rep on each one of these accounts, so that they can go start to work and build those relationships, so that the channel team doesn't have to make the one-to-one introductions. So having this real-time data about exactly which partner you're going to go sell with helps you close deals faster. So with a complete list of all of your mutual customers with all your partners, this gives you the data that you need to really engage partners in your renewal processes. So here in our system, you can immediately see the number of mutual customers that you have with this partner. And by drilling in here, it gives you a detailed view of those mutual customer accounts. But we also have the multi-partner ecosystem reports, and this will show you all of your partners that are mapped to each one of your accounts. Simply by filtering down to only the mutual customers that give you the data that you need to develop the partner-specific renewal strategy based on the partners that already have strong existing relationships with each customer. So many people on this call are investing millions of dollars in MDF programs so that your partners can go and run these and generate more demand for your joint offerings. Now, with a detailed mapped partner data, you can actually prioritize who you're going to give these MDF investments based on the partners that have specific account relationships that you want to leverage, that you know have a high propensity to buy. So your company might have a strategy to go after specific industries or expand faster in certain regions with detailed partner data. You could prioritize that in MDF investment based on the partners that can best help accelerate these strategies. So finally, we know that through channel marketing is very effective. But imagine how much more effective it could be if you started each campaign with hyper-targeted account lists for each partner to go focus on. So here are some examples of different campaigns and different actions that you can take with these hyper targeted account lists for partner marketing. The first, targeted account based marketing campaigns. You can run campaigns around mutual key target prospects with each specific partner, or run multiple target account campaigns with a combined value prop, or target your hot prospects that you know have the highest propensity to buy with across your partner's customers. If you're running field marketing events, understanding the customers and prospects of a partner around the specific location in a specific industry in a specific segment or size of business with certain product sets. And then lastly, digital marketing campaigns, investing those MDF funds in Google Ads or email marketing campaigns. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to my friend Emil, who I think it's 10 o'clock at night there, but he is a machine. He's still going.
Thanks a lot, Cassandra. Appreciate everything that you just explained. I think that's it's really an awesome solution. And for me, it's before I start explaining like how you can use these hyper-targeted account lists into digital marketing, I think it's important to explain or summarize why this could be so potential valuable in your digital marketing campaigns. So if we can go to the next slide. So to summarize, I think everything, it's if you've got hyper-targeted account lists, and it offers the opportunity for more relevancy in content and campaigns. I have to explain that maybe a little bit. If you understand your targeted accounts, then it means you can also create the right content that you know is going to be very relevant for them. So if you've got an account list which is based on a certain vertical or an industry, and you've got content which is related to that specific vertical or specific products, and you create a campaign around that, then it means that the relevancy for those specific accounts, this audience, is much higher. And the result of that will be that you've got higher conversions and deals. And everybody knows like relevancy is the key word, I think, during this whole presentation. And that's what the Partner Tab application can do with the account mapping. It gives you that sort of insight. So it's a real awesome solution that with the connection to the TCMA, the partner marketing automation that we have in our PRM platform, can be very valuable for a lot of customers. So if you can go to the next slide. Before I'm going to explain what kind of tactics you can use, I just wanted to, like Trevor was always saying, we have terms like true channel marketing automation, partner marketing automation. So let me just explain that in a nutshell. What are we talking about? We talk about partner marketing automation. So on the slide, what you see on the left hand, you see the vendor corporate. So that's the vendor. A vendor that has an indirect sales channel. You can see the ecosystem partners. That can be your transactional partners, your non-transactional partners. You can see 3 partners right here, but it can be thousands, right? So PMA, partner marketing automation, gives you the opportunity in a centralized way to communicate from a vendor perspective to your partners. So you can do marketing to your partners. If you do a product launch, you've got new information, then you can basically inform all your partners, the right partners at the right time with the right content about what's coming up. But more important in this specific situation that we're talking about today is the true partner marketing. That means you basically create campaigns on a centralized level from the vendor, and you make them available for all your partners. And those partners can take those campaigns, which are ready to use, and start targeting their audiences, so their end customers, their prospects. That's basically in a nutshell what true partner marketing automation is, or true channel marketing automation. So now think about the relationship or the connection to Partner Tab. You see this audience on the right end. If you do the account mapping, then you suddenly start taking certain parts of that audience that you say like that audience is very relevant for us as an organization, because we know in that industry we do the best job, or with that product we do the best job, and we know that this part of the audience is using that product or is interested in that product. So with the connection, you can start targeting very directly to the right audiences with the right content. And with the partner marketing automation solutions, the nice thing there is if you would need to do that for every single partner, and every single partner needs to do it on its own, then that's a huge job, right? So you can do that with the 3 partners, but it's going to be very difficult to do that with 1,000 partners. So the partner marketing automation solutions, they will automate that whole process. So you build one campaign for one specific target audience, which is, let's say you've got 20 partners that do have that sort of target audience, and then you can run that campaign for those 20 partners. And then you've got another campaign which is applicable to 100 partners, and you can run it for 100 partners, but you only have to build that one campaign. All those partner campaigns that you build are ready to use by your transactional partners, but they will be fully co-branded with their logo, with their contact details. So it is like they are doing the marketing, but you are doing it on behalf of them. So that's in a nutshell what partner marketing automation is. So if you can go to the next slide. So if you look at the partner marketing automation, look at these specific account lists that we were talking about, what kind of tactics can be used to add value for your partners and end customers? So there are 2 tactics. I'll start with Google Ads to explain how we can use these targeting lists into Google Ads. And of course, the second one will be email campaigns. But let me first start with Google Ads. So Google Ads has this, I think, very cool feature, as you can see in the screenshot, is that you actually can create your own audience lists. That means that Google, of course, especially if you talk about Google search, the relevancy is already there because it's intent-based marketing, right? People on the internet telling you what they're looking for. So that's they show you your intent. But it's very nice to understand that intent. But if you know also the audience that is interested in that specific thing, which is part of your database, then you can specifically start targeting that audience with those intent keywords or intent-based keywords. So in Google Ads, you can add customer lists. You can also add website visitors, for instance. We know that as soon as you start adding website visitors or customer lists, that you will increase the amount of leads that you generate with a campaign. And we have measured up to 11% plus, based on the quality, of course, of your customer list that you have on the website visitors that you attach to the Google campaigns. So the nice thing here is that you can do that. It has some requirements on, let's say, the list that you upload. You need email addresses or physical addresses and everything. But we also know that there's sort of potential conflict between sharing, I would say, customer data itself. So not the account data, but the real, let's say, personal information. And the nice thing here is that within our solution, we have a centralized solution in which, for instance, the vendor, if they do the account mapping and they understand for certain partners, like these are the accounts that we want to target, that the vendor can upload that in to the platform and the partner doesn't have access to it. So that means you can use all your data, all that rich data, to upload that in the campaigns, which you normally wouldn't give to your partner, right? You wouldn't say, oh, partner, you've got your own Google Ads account. Here you've got my list with all the enriched, let's say, details. You can't do that. You don't want to do that. That's what you can do in the platform because it's protected. The nice thing, of course, of the Google Ads for the channel solution is that you can build one campaign, and again, you can apply it to 100 partners at the same time. So you've got the cost for building one campaign, but you can run it with 100 partners instead of the cost for 100 partners. So it saves a dramatic amount of cost, I would say, and it gives that huge opportunity to make it scalable. So let me now explain more around the email solution. If you can go to the next slide, Trevor. So the email campaigns itself, it's the same kind of methodology. You've got that mapping, so you've got the account list, and now you basically say to partners like, hey, Mr. Partner, these are the accounts that I would like to target together with you. The partner has its data. They got the opt-ins to start communicating with them. So you would like the partner to upload that data into the platform. It's the same as I just explained on vendor level, that the partners don't have access to the data. Here, the vendor doesn't have access to the partner data. So there's no conflict with that personal information that you need to share in the platform. So what happens here is that the partner uploads their specific prospects into the platform. But here comes the nice thing, is that the vendor can create the campaigns for the partner. So instead of saying, hey, Mr. Partner, here I've got the list that we would like to target. Can you please run a campaign? You basically do the work for them. So the platform allows you as a vendor to create, let's say, a dripping campaign, a dripping email campaign, very relevant for that targeted audience, that hyper-targeted audience. You create a campaign and you can even schedule it to be sent out on behalf of that partner. So the partner, the only thing they have to do is just upload the list, and that's it. And then you start running a dripping campaign on behalf of them in a joint effort without sharing the data with the conflict. So that will result in definitely better results. And I have some more information about that later on. So having said that, I think it's important to explain that all these efforts, if you have to do that one-on-one with the partners, you can do that, but you can never make it scalable. So what I'm explaining here is that the platform that we have with the PRM, with the TCMA integrated, whether it's Google Ads or whether it's the email solution, we focus on that automation for the partner. And you can see it on this picture, it's very clear. The manual process requires some effort. And some partners can do it because they do have the resources and they like to do it. They like to be in full control. It's awesome. But the majority of the partners, I'm really talking about 90-95% plus, simply don't have the time and effort to do it. They have multiple vendors, suppliers that they have to do things for. They don't have dedicated people to do it. So what our platform is doing, it's fully automating all these campaigns on behalf of those partners. A Google Ads campaign, it's, basically selecting the partners who want to participate, and then they can go live with the right campaign, targeting those right audiences, the very relevant audience. The email campaign I just explained, a dripping campaign, you can fully automate that. And that makes it very scalable. So if we go to the next slide, I would just like to, I would say, summarize a little bit what I explained. So you can scale Google Ads campaigns across your top 100, 50, 500 partners, whatever it is. You build one campaign, you use with partner tab the account mapping to create, let's say there's a hyper-targeted audiences, and then you create the content, multiple campaigns to multiple groups, and then you make it scalable across your full channel. And that will increase the results dramatically. You can do the same with the automated email campaigns. You can even include your full long tail, right? If you've got your top partners, let's say these are 200-300 partners, and then you've got the 19,000 or 20,000 long tail partners, you can include them as well. And that makes it very, very scalable. So you use partner tab to do the identification, you create the hyper-target account list, you upload them, whether you do that on vendor level or partner level, based on the kind of tactic that you're using. And then you activate the campaigns, partner doesn't have to do anything, and you start tracking the results. And based on those results, you start improving the campaigns, right? So if you can go to the next slide, I just want to finish it with some best practices that we have seen. I already mentioned the 11%. So if you start using, for instance, website visitors and connect that, we have measured around 11% additional leads. If you start using targeted customer lists, which are much higher quality than just website visitors, the results are much higher. Of course, you need some volume. I want to be clear about that one. If you just target 2 accounts, then that's not going to work. So you need some volume. But that's a nice thing if you do it in a scalable way with a lot of partners, you get that volume. The automated email dripping campaigns, we know that if you do the dripping campaigns, I'm not talking about just sending one email, I'm talking about dripping campaigns for 6 months or a year. We have seen increase in sales opportunities by 15%. So you target those lists and then you turn them into sales opportunities. I just want to be clear here, this is on account level, right? So 15% increase in sales opportunities. If you automate this for all the partners and you use your long tail, then we have seen 80 times more results, simply because of the scalability across all the partners that can participate instead of expecting them to manually run the campaigns. You do it on behalf of them. There's no need to share personal identifiable information with partners. I think that's a key component to avoid any conflict or trust issues. And the last thing, of course, you need to be compliant with data privacy requirements, applicable laws and regulations. The technology is compliant, but of course also the data needs to be compliant. So it has to be said that that's something that you have to take into account. Overall, I think it's an awesome connection between two technologies that add, because of the two both together, add a lot of additional potential value for lots of our customers and their partners. And at the end, of course, also the end customers receiving the right content at the right time. So by this, I would like to hand it back over to Cassandra.
Yeah, I think it was great. I mean, really in this market, what companies need to do is really get focused. We need to focus on the right accounts with the right partners and bring automation. That's what drives ROI. If we're focused on the right accounts with the right partners, we can 10x, our sales numbers, even in this environment. If we're just going every which way and no focus, we're going to get horrible results. So define with each partner the best areas to go and run those campaigns, run those Google ads all through the marketing automation platform. And that's how we're going to see growth in this market, period.
All right. Thank you very much, both of you. That was very informative, and I definitely learned something myself. So I appreciate that. So now we want to just turn it over to anybody that's joined live on the chat to ask any questions that you may have. I'll go ahead and turn off my screen share and we can go full screen. So as you ask a question, I'll go through and just kind of be moderator and highlight those. And it can be for either Emil, or Cassandra, or myself. If you want to talk sports, we can do that too. So put all your questions in the chat, and yeah, let me turn this off and I'll start looking at those. Looks like a couple have come in here. All right, there we are. I'm learning the technology. Congrats to me. All right, so here is one. Clarify not sharing with partners. So I think this might be toward you, Emil, if you want to address.
Yeah. So what I mean right here is, if you do the account mapping with partner tab, then of course you share that account mapping, right? So the partner knows like which accounts are mapped. For me, what I'm talking here is the specific personal information that we know is most times a trust issue. You don't want to share that personal information. So if you run a Google Ads campaign and as a vendor you've got that personal information in your database, you might not want to share that with your partner. But the technology enables you to upload that into a Google Ads environment, our Google Ads solution. And that can be shared with the partner to use it in the campaign. But what I want to say is that partner can't log into the account and get access to that personal information. But they make use of the fact in their campaigns that they can target those specific persons. And the other way around with email, it's the same. The partner might upload their personal information that they have and that they receive the opt-in for to be allowed to send information to them. They're very reluctant to give that sort of personal information to the vendor. So what you do here is really help each other, the vendor and the partner. And the partner uploads the data into the platform. The vendor doesn't have access to personal information, but they can provide, because you know the account level, you know which content is necessary. The vendor creates all the campaigns, all the campaigns, and send them on behalf of that partner to that email list, which they don't have access to, but they know the account level information, but not the personal information. I hope that answers the question.
Very good. Thank you. And we have one here for you, Cassandra. So I can't see it anymore. There we go. Hopefully you can read it. Okay. Yeah. How can enablement utilize this kind of data to increase our efforts with partners?
So I have a great story. I have a customer actually that just was on a webinar, I think last week, who talked about taking data from their top partner shared all of their key customers over to our customer. And then what happened was the enablement team actually went, the channel account manager actually went and understood where all these customers were over their mutual customers. So from there, they said, okay, here's where we can actually upsell through this partner. Then they looked at and there was 15,000 of them. There were so many that they could run immediate sales plays. But then the secondary is they had to put these opportunities through nurture. And so that's where the channel automation component or marketing automation component comes in. It's like immediate sales plays and marketing automation for the nurture that's going to then feed more sales plays.
Very good. All right. It looks like we have time for one more question. Here we go. So are there criteria for best results? For example, your program should be at X level maturity, or programs that have ABC characteristics are most successful. Basically, how to assess readiness and setting up for the best outcome. I don't know which one of you want to take.
I can take one on our side and then pass to you, Emil.
Yeah, sure.
On the partner tap side, really where we see this the most effective and where people, that webinar I talked about, she 4x'd the revenue that they did with this one partner. So what we see is they're working in partner tap with their top partners. And I know, Emil, you talked about long tail, and I think that's really important too. But we are talking about where are we going with our top partners and how can we do more and how can we get really, really focused with those partners on immediate sales plays, and then that marketing piece for the secondary layer, which is not a sales opportunity yet, but we know there's a high propensity to buy and they need to be nurtured. They need to go through the marketing automation platform. So that's what we see on our side. Emil?
Yeah, I can explain it more, I think, from the campaign perspective. So, criteria for best results. First of all, I think take, for instance, Google Ads. If you want to run a Google Ads campaign, then you can do a lot of research before you start doing the campaign. Right? There's a lot of historical information within Google. They've got the tools with the keyword planner and that sort of things to find out, like, is actually the search volume for my keywords, is that, does it exist? Is there enough volume to make it successful? So that's step number one. The second step is, like I just mentioned, relevancy, right? So increase that relevancy, and that has all to do with those audiences that you start targeting. You can target everybody, you can target the whole world, or you can say, like, no, I'm going to target a specific geographical region, and then I've done my account mapping for those specific type of companies that I know are in need for these kind of solutions. And then I build my content and my campaigns and use keywords related to those topics. The more relevant you are, the better the results will be. This is based on, right? So Google search will, I would say it's a little bit strong word, punish you if you're not relevant, because you have to pay more for the clicks. And they will reward you if you're very relevant. Then the cost per click goes down, but you still get best positions on the search result page. So relevancy for me is very important in campaigns. And in email campaigns, I think, the success factors that we take is like, don't send one email in half a year time. It's not going to work, right? You can't expect any results out of it. It is a continuous effort. And that's exactly where Cassandra was just talking about top partners that sometimes have the resources to do that. A lot of long tail partners don't have it. They send one email and then they wait in half a year, then their database becomes, let's say, less relevant because it's outdated. And then they run into problems and they don't have results, right? So it is a continuous effort. That's like we do it on behalf of you. We send an email every 2 weeks with relevant content to your relevant contacts. So I think that's, for me, from a campaign perspective, the way to set up for success.
Yeah, well said. And I know I said last question, but I can't help it. There's one more. All right. Just to follow up from Patricia, you may have covered it while those shiny objects were floating by. I get it. We all multitask because we watch these. But I assume you can create a workflow and create leads or deal registrations from email campaigns. So as those leads come in, obviously the partners have access to them, right? So if you're using the partner platform, yes, after that mapping and once they respond to a campaign, they become a lead. You can allow that to be qualified as a deal registration or allow the partner to take over from there and make any updates all the way through to close win. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, including, Trevor, of course, the lead attribution, right? So you understand from which campaign did it come? Was it the Google Ads campaign? Was it a campaign? What type of campaign? Even all the way up to the certain keyword that was expressed, right? So all that information is available in the lead info.
Yes, exactly. You get that full ROI picture with that attribution. All right, we will go ahead and close this session. Again, very much appreciate our fine guests, Emil and Cassandra, for joining. I'm going to turn that off. And all right, until next time, appreciate everyone joining. We'll see you.
Bye-bye.